New Orleans is home to a burn center that's cutting recovery times in half and saving more lives than ever before.
Like Dale Lambert, a local pilot turned patient when his plane went down in a fiery Slidell crash. Maddie Kurth introduces you to the team of doctors fueling his fire to survive.
I knew at that point I probably wasn't going to survive. The left engine came up and the right engine did not. I would imagine about 2 seconds later, I couldn't see anything, but I heard the airplane hit the trees.
Dale Lambert relives the start of his fight to stay alive.
I turned around, everything behind me was on fire.
His charter plane went down near Slidell on his ride back home from taking a heart transplant patient to Nashville.
And I went for the fire extinguisher, but then everything lit up.
Lambert managed to escape the flames, but not without further injury, compounding his burns with physical trauma.
There was a window next to me, which doesn't open, but while I was looking at that window, it went transparent. Got myself out of the seat belt and then went through the window. I think I broke my left arm on the way out.
Fighting through the pain.
I got in the ambulance and we went to Slidell Memorial where they intubated me, and that's the last thing I remember for many days after that.
Lambert's burns were too severe for Slidell Memorial to handle, so he was transported to the 3rd floor of University Medical Center in New Orleans.
But I don't think the chances were very good for me early on.
Where Lambert says doctors worked miracles.
A lot of times they'll open their eyes up after an injury and they'll see their skin and they'll be completely traumatized, you know? They'll say things like, how do I go back to my life like this?
UMC has the Gulf South's only American Burn Association verified treatment unit.
When you look at how we do business around here, it's not too much of an exaggeration to say it's tomorrow's care today.
Working in tandem with the area's only Level 1 trauma center to treat unimaginable pain.
It causes scars on the inside, not just the outside. And to be able to treat that, it really requires a great deal of skill and requires a team.
That team makes up what Lambert calls the unsung heroes of his life.
My wife describes it as almost nonstop activity in the room where they were doing surgeries, and when they weren't doing surgeries, they were doing something or another to me.
Doctors say the local pilot came to the UMC burn unit with a 5% chance of survival.
I was really surprised to find out that I was still breathing.
Lambert credits his life to the burn center's pioneering medical director and lead surgeon, Dr. Jeff Carter, who next year assumes the role of president of the ABA. Dr. Carter is known in the medical community for developing RECELL. He says it's a spray-on skin technology that cuts burn recovery time in half.
This is very common for us now. This is our standard of care, is to not only help people heal, but heal well.
Dr. Carter says UMC made specialized hires of professionals who could tailor their expertise to burn patients' needs, like research associate Anastasia Ivanko, who tracked Lambert's progress with an experimental treatment used to prepare burned skin for grafting. Prior to Lambert's crash, the treatment had not yet been recommended for 3rd-degree burns.
That's where the research started. So his story and the pathway from his story is helping improve standards.
Burn success used to be defined by walking out of the hospital or getting out of the hospital. Now we define it by getting out of the hospital without disability, and that was critically important for Dale because flying is such a big part of his life.
One of the things he said was that he was excited to go back in the air, and that really shows how much he and the team grew after his injury.
Lambert spent about 2 months in and out of procedure rooms with cutting-edge equipment, including what Dr. Carter calls one of the most powerful lasers currently on the market for treating deep scars.
We use that to help soften the scar so that it can move with the patient and helps reduce some of the pain and itching that comes with it.
We have these hoses that come from the ceiling, and so these will actually spray water to help us to cleanse the wounds of the patients.
Doctors say each inch of the unit is designed for the special ways burns are treated. Heat lamps in the ceilings and TVs fixed above the patient's heads.
When you're distracted, your pain tolerance goes down. your anxiety goes down and your ability for us to be able to take care of you goes up.
This entire unit, all these personnel who their only job is to take care of you, and knowing how to frame that for them to reassure them is a very important part of doing what we do.
The doctors help patients forget where they are during treatment.
You actually experience pain through all 5 senses. That little white box on the wall over there emits an odor. They had that in the lobby, that's where we found it.
The Ritz-Carlton has their proprietary scent that they pump in. We have something like that here in the burn center to give it a distinctive, pleasant smell.
Dale Lambert and the burn crew continue to grow together through tri-weekly visits for therapy. While we toured the facility, Lambert was on his way to see Sheena Diggs, an occupational therapist.
I didn't know what occupational therapists did, but I do now, and just have an amazing impact on, on your recovery and with this kind of injury.
Most of the time we see inpatient to outpatient, so we see like all aspects of recovery. That's one of the best parts I enjoy.
After 18 months of recovery, Lambert is able to have some of his life resemble what it used to, but he and his family are still learning to accept their new reality.
I was very concerned about what my quality of life was going to be, but Sheena kind of gave me confidence and let me know what to expect, and gave me the confidence I was going to eventually get capability and get independence back.
Lambert says it's the employees and doctors at the UMC burn unit who ignite the fire to survive in so many patients.
It's huge. I mean, just the fact that you're going to, it gives you hope that you're going to get better.
And it's not like that in every hospital, but it's certainly like that with us and our patients.
In New Orleans, Maddie Kurth, Fox 8, Local First.